Blessings, yo. The fight really is those that want to stay in that ice age mentality and the ones that want to keep it that way versus those that choose to have individual thought and leading the way, right? Because a whole bunch of the energy really is to follow suit with those that are truly still in the mindset of women needs to stay in the kitchen, and men do the work. But they can't ask no questions. They can't really show no type of emotion, but just be the robot that, that a good amount are least accepting of the world today. It's like some people really push that energy of what they want, wished, and dreamed of so much that that desire is unfolding. But the ego, the arrogance, and the pride is truly trying to still push, for women to still be in the kitchen and for men to do all the hard work and, and just really do nothing more than provide. And the things that they do on the side is never to be spoken up or asked about. It's just to keep things in the dark because a lot of people mostly the ones have fetishes, the ones that just really want to stay in the, not only in the alleyways or the dark corners, the ones that really want to keep digging holes in the dirt to just plant seeds of maliciousness and deviance. Like the shit that we fucking trying, like the opposition is trying its best not to unfold the files and shit. It's that type of shit. That's the energy that we are still pushing against, because those are the ones that really did stay back there. They don't mind being salty about all the shit that fucking tastes good nowadays. They want to come around and make sure that their bitterness and their spitefulness and women must stay in the house, and I like to be in the house. They can beat me anytime they want to, just as long as I got the money and the bills are paid type of energy. It's like that type of energy is a pick me. They want to be picked and chosen, no matter if there's abuse, there's anything going on and whatever. Just be chosen. They'll be prideful and happy, and they'll be the ones to mock you because you ain't choose that man, or that man ain't choose, that male ain't choose you. It's just the same as the the man that really did get caught up with the karmic woman, karmic female, the one that really does want money all the time, and the only way to keep her happy is the money. Therefore, she needs to fold them up and keep him up in a shelf, by manipulating him and gaslighting him to believing that he ain't shit, but to provide her with money. It's the craziest of notions of some people, but some need to stay that way because they are more comfortable that way, because to them change is just too hard to do, but you changing for you, for the betterment of the future of you, it's like it's too hard for some people to grasp and fathom, because to them they have to rule you, to them they have to guide you, back into the kitchen or back into the workforce, to make a slave out of you type of shit, just as long as this cycle keeps continuing, you keep on bringing the money type of shit. You can't have individual thought because you're making your own money. Oh no, because those some folks will come out the crevices in the corners, because you have an attachment, you have a bloodline, you have a this, you have a conversation, you just said hi, you live next to, you rode next to, you sat next to, you stood by, feel as though that they are owed a piece of your pie. Crazy shit. How some people really think and really want you to really feel as though that you need to be back there somewhere where everything was frozen with no feelings. Yet those are the very same people that still have a hard time believing that machines and robots are real. Know what the most I got you. Have a good one. Bye.